Welcome, welcome to a new week of driving with or quarantine with Styles. I'm still not used to it, aka driving with Styles. Hope everybody had a good weekend. Enjoyed their weekend with their family and such. Hope you had a good time watching the finale of The Last Dance. Uh, Switching up this format a little, not the format, my screen a little bit. You can see the call-in number right here. Phone number is 415-762-9988. Meeting ID is 647-696-9337. I'm going to keep that up there. I'm also going to do a better job with following my chat as I broadcast. I got a window off to the same side. So if you want to shoot me a chat during the broadcast, I should be able to follow that more. You can call in as always. Again, the number's right there. But this week we're gonna get into. I'm not sure if I'm gonna get to the Last Dance stuff because I really got something that's really close to my heart that I want to get off my chest. But we're gonna talk about Tallulah, talk about Loa's decision to go to Maryland. Gonna lead off with that. Then I'm gonna get into the importance of youth basketball with the DeAndre Baker, Quentin Dunbar issue that we had last week. I might get into some A-Rod. Is this his last dance in Green Bay? And then obviously Last Dance, Pizzagate. I'm gonna draw some comparisons, maybe Pippen to Zeke and Kobe to Cross. So then I'm gonna end with a video like I did last week. I might do that as my staple, but let's see how that goes. But to lead out, Tallulah to Maryland. I'm a little shocked, and I am pleasantly shocked. I know that family is close. I thought he would probably go to a place closer to Miami, Tampa, Central Florida, South Florida, FAU. But for him to go to Maryland means that he's really that family is looking out for him and he's looking out for himself. That's a good situation for him. He's got Mike Locksley as the head coach, who was at Alabama. So he's a little familiar with it, but his brother is very familiar with it. Very similar offensive scheme, probably philosophy a little bit, and it's going to be probably a smoother transition for him. And he has a chance to play right away. I'm not sure with the coronavirus and missing summer a little bit. It depends on if they'll be able to get him on campus soon. If that's the case, he might have a shot of starting because the guy they had last year, Josh Jackson, didn't get it done. 1,300 yards passing, 12 touchdowns, 6 interceptions, just not going to get it done. I think he's a redshirt junior. Then they have another redshirt junior behind him, Pingrams, and he had limited action. Then they have then they had two freshmen. So they'll probably be redshirt freshmen this year. So that quarterback room is wide open for him, and he has a really good chance to go in there and potentially get some playing time. But if not this year, at least soon. If he doesn't get it this year, he can redshirt this year, and he will still have 3 years left to play for Mike Locksley, which I think is a great opportunity for him. And it's not that far away from the family, so they can hop back and forth. It'd be interesting to see if the mom and dad stays with Tua or they go with Tallulah. It's gonna be interesting. I'm waiting to see that because I really like that family. They're really low key, even though they had a star son at the quarterback position. I like their closeness. I like that bond they have, and I'm looking forward to seeing him play. I might finally watch some Big Ten football because I'm not anti Big Ten football, but I mean it's Big Ten football. So typically I stay away from, but I might catch a little bit just to see what Taulia is doing it when and if he gets to start real soon. Next thing I'm going to talk about, which is dear to my heart, is youth coach sports. Uh, I think this is my opinion only. Obviously, I'm the only guy on the show, so it's coming from me. But I feel like this DeAndre Baker, this Quentin Dunbar, this Oliver deal, this Latimer deal, it comes back to me down to the foundation. I had a great, I had a great, I had great parents first of all, but my parents and I got involved with an unbelievable organization when I was young. And that organization and those coaches, and I still speak to my little league coaches to this day. Uh, my quarterback coach is that dude for me. And they develop or help develop uh, another foundation, um, in addition to my parents, of discipline, doing the right thing, um, being accountable. Because now, and the reason why it's dear to my heart, because I have a young son and I've been dealing with it. And you have to get your kids in a situation where the coaches care for your kids more than wins and losses. They care for your kids just like they're one of their kids. They bring them into the fold and not just caring about if they can throw the ball 40 yards and they can make the moves, or they can help them win games, so they can help elevate them to a high school coach position, then later on college, and on, feeding their aspirations instead of looking most importantly to the kids. And I've said this on The Locker. I'm going to plug my show with my boy A. White, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 8:30 to 9:30. Follow us at The Locker 411, Twitter, on all social media platforms, Twitter, YouTube, Facebook. But that is so important for us as parents to find that stable organization. I was, like I said, my son, when I was still in Chicago, we got into an organization and we were the new kids. And they already had these kids on. And my son, I mean, we tried to get him involved in all sports. So we tried football because obviously I'm a football player. So that was one of the ones we was going to definitely get him into. And it wasn't the organization was bad. It was just the coaches that was running the organization. They actually had a kid whom they already had slated as quarterback. And us and another kid came in. And the other kid was obviously better. But since they had this kid there before, they had him start. And the coach did not understand it. He wasn't a good coach. I don't even think he really understood football. And that, in essence, affected the kids. Fast forward till I got here, and we did it with flag football again with the Y. And on that team, granted, my kid was the fastest guy on the team. And they put him on the offensive line. And the funny part is, I don't understand. This is like a vicious cycle. They would come to Louisiana, same thing, flag football. Fast kid on the team. My kid had a rocket. He could really throw the ball very well. They put him on the offensive line. And coaches not being flexible, coaches not letting, especially at that age, 10, 9, 10, if you're playing flag, letting all the kids get a chance, an opportunity to work at different positions, because who knows what the kid's going to grow into as they mature. And I kick myself a lot because I didn't coach my kid earlier, because I think I have the foundation that's better than most. And it's sad that a lot of these coaches really don't understand how much of an influence they are on the kid's future. They can have a kid not like the sport just by their tone, their attitude, the way they coach, their approach, all that stuff, especially at that age. If you're not playing tackle football, you're playing flag football, it should be fun. Now, once you get the tackle, it's a different situation because then there's a real heightened injury risk. But in flag football, it should be fun. Everybody should have a chance to run the ball. Everybody should have a chance to play quarterback, just move it around, see what kids have, and make the thing fun for them. Now, as a youth coach, you also become another mentor for these kids. Not a mentor just to help that kid get where he wants to athletically. You're a mentor for that kid in all aspects. He or she is probably gonna come to you before they go to anyone else if you build a good enough bond. And a lot of these coaches are letting stuff slide. A lot of these coaches, especially in basketball, but in football too, if you are a great athlete, they're letting you get by with things that actually come back to bite these kids later on in life because they never have someone that is going to hold them accountable. I played for the South Baton Rouge Rams, and my coaches still hold all of us accountable. And now we're 40-some years old. That's 30-plus years since I played with some of these coaches. A little less for when I played junior, but that's the influence that these guys have on kids potentially if they do it the right way. And obviously, you would need the parents to second their actions as coaches, back them up when they say your kid is not doing something. The parent can't say, like you hear a lot now, it's not your fault, son, it's the coach's fault. It just breaks my heart to see some of these guys who don't have that foundation. And trust me, DeAndre Baker and Quinton Dunbar probably is missing that a little bit. Because from what I hear, the whole situation is ridiculous. But they didn't have that foundation. I'm going to bet. It's not to say they didn't have a good coach, but they didn't have a coach that held them accountable. When they got to high school, probably the same thing. If you missed practice, if you was late to class, if you were late to practice, if you were late to a game, if you didn't make a meeting, etc. Since they were such elite athletes, maybe the coach just let it go. And you think that I'm only coaching a kid, he's 9, 10, 13, 14. That's not going to have a bearing on anything. It does. It does greatly. Look at maybe I just hold my childhood fondly, and I remember all the things my coaches used to say. I might have to bring some of my ex-teammates to say. What we did, I'll just say this, what we did when I was 8, 9, 10 years old was high school level stuff as far as working out, accountability. If you didn't make your grades, you didn't play. You had to present them with report cards. If you was late to practice, even though you didn't have a ride, that was on you. Now, they would talk to the parents and then see what, and there might not have been a punishment, but still, they set that example of being late, period, is an issue. And I think, like I said before, I think we're missing that in the coaching profession. And I wish we can get back to that where coaches are more father figures and not trying to look out just for themselves, trying to get themselves in a higher position and hold these kids accountable for their actions, all their actions. If you have to sit them, sit them. If you have to sit them 2 or 3 games, sit them. We got to find a way as coaches to connect with these kids so when they get to be adults, they have a foundation to draw back on what is right and what is wrong. Now, that's a burden on a coach, but if you're going to coach youth sports, that's just what goes along with it. That's just the price of being a youth coach. It's a great thing to coach these kids and have them come back and say, Coach, thank you. Thank you for being hard on me. Thank you for not letting me slide on certain things. That's huge. It pays off in the end. And I just hope we as parents, we need to vet organizations much better. More than worried about all that organization won AAU this, all that organization has won so many youth championships. Find an organization that fits you, your family, and your kid, and someone that's going to really care for your kid beyond just on the field of play. So how much time I have left? I got about 12. Okay. So next thing we're going to talk about is my man A-Rod. Is this his last dance in Green Bay? I think this situation is being a little overblown, if you ask me. I understand that Jordan Love got picked up in the first round, and if you follow me long enough, you know how I feel about Jordan Love. I just didn't think he had a first round grade. I wouldn't have no problem picking up in the second round, or just after Jalen Hurts. If Jalen Hurts went in the first round, he's the next best quarterback on the board, on my board. So I didn't have a problem with them picking him up. And I don't have a problem with them even picking him up in the late first round. I don't have a problem with them even trading up to get him. Because here's the thing. How long is A-Rod going to really play? And the Packers have a history. This has worked out for them. This is the same situation with A-Rod. They picked him up in the late first round. He becomes their second franchise quarterback after Brett Favre. I shouldn't say second. The heir apparent to Brett Favre. So this approach isn't a bad deal. And to me, I don't even see it as being a threat to Aaron. Because Jordan Love's going to be on a 4-year rookie deal. So in essence, Aaron could play for the next 4 years. Now, I know he's going to have to sign a new contract, but it doesn't say just because they sign Jordan Love, that they have to play him next year. And I don't see how they get rid of, as I've said in the past, I don't see how they get rid of Aaron even next year. It's a lot of dead money on the cap. So Jordan Love is not going to play this year. He's not going to play next year. And if I was Green Bay, I'm not going to trade Aaron, but I might franchise tag him. If I'm not comfortable signing him for another 3-year deal, maybe I sign him for a year-to-year deal, transition, franchise tag 2 years in a row, and let it work that way. I don't think Aaron's going to really bark at making $30+ million a year, because when Patty Mahomes signs his contract, I think it's like not quite 32. But when Patty Mahomes signs his contract in the next year or so, that average salary of the top 5 is going to go up even more. It's probably going to get to that 32, 33 range. So I'm not sure if Aaron's going to really be upset with making $32, $33 million a year for back-to-back 1-year contracts at his age. It's a safeguard for both. So this is not, to me, this is not the last dance for Aaron. Now, will he retire Green Bay Packer? Depends on how long Aaron wants to play. Does he want to pull a Tom Brady? Well, that's probably not going to happen. But he wants to play 3, possibly 4 more years. That's a potential of that happening. Because like I say, Jordan Love will be on a rookie deal for the next 4 years. And we know, we remember Dak made less than $2 million last season. So it's not going to be a salary cap hit. So all these people who are I don't know what hyping this is bad on Aaron, I just don't see it. I just don't see it. You have to find your quarterback. And they felt like they found him. Now I understand people saying they didn't draft a wide receiver. Understandable. But when you find your quarterback, you go get your quarterback. That's how I feel about it. I've always felt that way. You identify your quarterback, you go get him at all costs. That's just it. Because once you find one and you hit on it, it's a big time franchise saver, big time. So like I said, I just don't think that's the last dance for Aaron. It segues me to the last dance. Man, that was, as you know, I'm not a, if you follow me, I'm not the biggest MJ fan, never have. Um, but this documentary was unbelievable. Some things I forgot about, some things I learned. Um, but this Pizzagate deal makes no sense to me. Someone has to explain to me, did they, when they ordered a pizza, which first of all shows how long ago, how old this is, because nowadays the restaurant kitchen is open to at least midnight. You got 24-hour McDonald's, Burger King, fast food, whatever. It wasn't like Michael got something healthy. He just needed something to eat. So just interesting that everything was closed in Utah at 10 p.m. That's crazy. But how did they get to this company? Obviously, they used Michael Jordan's name on the order, because how else would they have intentionally sabotaged the pizza if it was Dickie Simpkins or whomever or Randy Brown? How do they know it's not one of those guys whom the Bulls wouldn't have skipped a beat? So did Jordan entourage have to use his name to get this company to cook the pizza? So it was a company like, we're not gonna cook the pizza, we're closed. Whoa, we are Michael Jordan, and then that enticed them to make the pizza. Why would you give the best player in the league name to a restaurant? All players use aliases when they're in the hotel room. All the big time players, they never use their real name. So that's really on Jordan's entourage, if you ask me. This whole flu game, virus game, bug deal is all on the people who ordered the pizza and gave them the information that this was Michael Jordan. Because if it wasn't given, then this is just a random act. This wasn't intentional. This might be another one of those things that Jordan used just to give him some motivation. Very interesting. I would like some more information on that and how that went down, because that's crazy to me. Now, my next thing is, out while watching it and from start to finish, I was drawing some parallel to a couple people. Like this, my one parallel is Pippen and Zeke. Who has the most regrets doing this documentary? Is it Zeke with not shaking hands with Jordan, how it potentially affect him getting on the Dream Team? Although we have heard now that from multiple players on that team that it was more to it than just that. But that image that was portrayed during that time, during this documentary, we all knew about it if you grew up at that time, how they just left the court. That or Pippen, in a way, this show kind of ebbed and flowed with Pippen. It started out with Jordan saying, you can't say my name without saying Pippen. But then it goes into him, the migraine game, the not going in the game, this lower back issue, missing free throws. it's like it's an up and down, highs and lows for Pippen. And Pippen said he didn't regret it, but does he regret some of the things that has been depicted in the show that now is being brought up again with this documentary? I wish, which one has the biggest regret? And I would probably say Zeke, because Scottie still won 6 championships and made his money after having that bag issue. So Pippen made amends, I guess, to that a little bit. The next one to me is the parallel between Cross and Kobe. Cross gets all this attention and bad press and bad feel from the masses because he, in essence, broke up a dynasty. Saying Phil's not going to come back. I don't care if he goes 82-0. His relationship with historic players. And many people feel like he broke up that group, which, like I said a long time ago, it can't get done without Reinsdorf. I hold Reinsdorf a lot more at fault than Jerry. And that parallel to me, that comparison was Kobe. Kobe got a lot of flack for when Shaq left after the three-peat. A lot of people felt like Kobe was the reason why Shaq left. And that's probably true, but there's a lot. Shaq didn't do the things that he needed to do to warrant it. And now Kobe gets blamed for it, but MJ, he learned it from MJ. But MJ can get away with punching Kerr, Purdue, verbal assaulting Scott Burrell, etc., etc. But when Kobe does it, it's an issue. But so the onus has been on Kobe for breaking up that dynasty, but I'm not sure that he really broke it up. Did they just break themselves up? Shaq's immaturity at that time, was that more of a factor? So for both Cross and Kobe, to me, they have been treated a little unfairly regarding them breaking up dynasties. Because I think there's more to it than just those two guys. I think there was a lot more in play than just blaming Cross. Now, Cross did have his issues, and Kobe definitely has his issues. But I'm not sure that they should be blamed for, quote unquote, breaking up a dynasty. Because I think, as I said, I think there was more to it. So, here we go. I'm going to start doing this thing, probably playing videos at the end. So, I saw this video of Lucky pulling this semi. This is absolutely insane. I'm not sure I understand why you do it, but for this guy to pull this semi, it's gotta be, looks like 20 yards probably. And he's getting it moving. You know how much power that takes to start that semi from park? And I'm not saying he did it easy, but man, that's some strength right there, man. I'm not sure. I might dislocate all kind of my ankle, my hamstring. I definitely pulled my hamstring, my quad. That's incredible, man. All right, guys. That's it. Hope you guys enjoyed the show. See you guys Wednesday. And hope you guys have a good rest of your day. And take care. Thanks for watching.